Welcome into fifth quarter, built this year by Trinity Homes. I'm Joe Bricado. We will pass the mic to Ben Eschenbaugh and Shelby Cassesi later in the show. First up tonight, a matchup of Big Ten AA playoff teams from a year ago as we take you out to One Eagle Way. The return of Josh Garrell as Robert C. Byrd head coach. He led RCB to a pair of playoff appearances back in the early part of the decade. But early on in this one, the Polar Bears looking to strike first. A 33-yard pass and run. Jake Abbott to Bryson Gilbert. Sheds three defenders and gets down the far sideline to the 40-yard line. 2 plays later, Abbott, first-year starter at quarterback this year, again finding Gilbert, shedding off defenders on his way to a 36-yard touchdown. The PAT is good, and the Polar Bears take a 7-0 lead. Looking for more of the Bears on their next possession. Abbott looks to pass, gets flushed out of the pocket, breaks it up the middle, and then to the far sideline and all the way down to the 8-yard line of RCB. On the very next play, Bryson Gilbert is going to take the handoff. He's going to come to the near side, and he finds his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Gilbert takes it in, and the Polar Bears double their lead, going up 14-0. Later in the game, RCB trailing 28-0, trying to get something going. Trey Junkins hands off to Gage Jackson, who busted up the middle and picks up 9 yards on the play. 2 plays later, Junkins calls his own number, scrambles through the line and into the end zone. The PAT is no good, but Byrd is on the board. They now trail 28-6. We step ahead to the start of the second half. It's now a 35-6 game, and Bryson Gilbert finds the end zone once again, this time on special teams, taking the kickoff from about the 15 all the way into the end zone. That makes it 42-6 at that point, and Fairmont Senior convincing in their season opener as they win at Robert C. Byrd, taking this one by the final of 49-12. Elsewhere in the Big Ten, we take up the Husky Highway to Rachel. North Marion taking on Elkins. Elkins fumbles it away deep in their own end, and the Huskies capitalize. Kyle Elliott across from the 1, and North leads 8-0, but it doesn't take Elkins very long to respond. On the ensuing kickoff, Thomas Talkington takes it and totes it all the way back for the score. One play gets the Tigers back to within 1 point. The PAT gets them within 1 at 8-7. Late in the first quarter, North Marion would respond, facing 4th and 2 at the Tigers' 6-yard line. Elliott takes it across for the second time, and North Marion leads 14-7 through 1 quarter of play. We step ahead to the second quarter now. Elkins with a good drive going, and then Daniel Romans caps it with a 36-yard touchdown run, and we are tied at 14 apiece. On the ensuing possession for North Marion, though, Elliott has time, and he has Zach McIntyre for a 33-yard connection. The Huskies retake the lead, going up 21-14. In the final minutes of the half, Mark Yoho, the offensive coordinator, dips into his bag of tricks. Halfback pass, Tanner King to McIntyre, 27-yard touchdown. Huskies by 2 scores at the half. They lead 28-14. Late in the third, North Marion has a TD called back. Elkins goes the other way on 4th and goal from the 1. Corey Gillespie takes it in, and through 3, the lead is 28-21 for North Marion. But the Huskies answer back on their first possession of the fourth quarter. Elliott rolls to his left. He's got Brett Mays near the goal line. 6-yard hookup puts North back up by 2 scores, 35-21. Then for good measure, with 5 minutes to go, Elliott up the middle, 69 yards. Elliott with 4 touchdowns, 306 yards of total offense for him as North Marion doubles up Elkins in the season opener, winning by the final of 42-21. We take you down to Flatwoods. The Lincoln Cougars opening up the season with Braxton County. And on the Cougars' second possession, LHS gets rolling. Kobe Carpenter with a pass to Anthony Keller. Keller with some nifty moves for a gain of 25 yards. Later, Hunter Moore is going to take the handoff. He just breaks the plane of the goal line. He is in for a 5-yard touchdown. Lincoln is on the scoreboard first as they lead 7-0. But on the second play of the second quarter, Braxton will tie it up as quarterback Heath Cottrell on the keeper. 3 yards for the score. We're tied at 7 apiece. Later in the second, it's Cottrell on the swing pass to Seth Arnold. Arnold out of bounds deep in Cougar territory as Braxton looks to take the lead, and that would lead to this 13-yard scoring strike from Cottrell to Tayton Stout. Braxton County with the PAT goes up 14-7. The Eagle defense was strong tonight as well. Carpenter is flushed from the pocket, and he is sacked by Isaiah Cumberledge. It's a 14-7 ball game at the break. First play of the second half, Moore with a gain of 36 to the Eagle 30-yard line. And then 2 plays later, Carpenter is going to take it in from 18 yards. And all of a sudden, Lincoln is back to within a score. It's a 14-13 ball game. But later on, Braxton would answer back in the form of Lucas Bonnet. He dives in from the one. That puts Braxton up 9 at that point. And Bill Haddix and company pick up a solid season opening victory as they knock off the Cougars by the final of 36-27. The new BC Bank Stadium at Philip Barbour High School. The Colts opening up with Grafton. Grafton would give the Colts, well, a warm welcome after the Colts went 3 and out. The Bearcats would block the punt attempt. The ball lands in the hands of Sam Murray, takes it into the end zone. PAT is good, and Grafton is up 7-0. And the Bearcats wouldn't stop there. Later in the first, Cole Collins, fourth-year starter at quarterback, is going to run the read option. He pitches to Caleb Bish, who takes it in for the 6-yard touchdown. Extra point is good, and Grafton now leads 14-0. The Colts looking for some momentum in the first. They get a little bit of it here as Robert Schanneberger gets into the backfield and sacks Collins. Grafton still up by a pair of touchdowns at this point, but the strong defensive play would continue for PB as Joseph Collier is quick to the backfield, and Collins is dropped once more on the QB scramble. Grafton still up 2 scores at this point. We step ahead to the second quarter now, and the momentum is back with the Bearcats as they get to the quarterback. Again, it's Murray on the play, stopping the Colts quarterback Curtis Humphreys. Grafton with a 14-0 lead. And with time winding down in the first half, Grafton inside the red zone sets up shop for a field goal. Tyler Griffith splits the uprights from 28 yards out. Grafton up 17-0 at the half, and they go on to pick up a shutout victory on the road, knocking off PB by the final of 23-0. We take you up to the castle in Kingwood. Preston High opening up their season with Hampshire. We pick things up in the first quarter. Joseph Boyles throws one up for Victor Adetokun, who makes a spectacular one-handed grab for a 35-yard touchdown. And with the point after, the Knights now lead 14-0. But on the next drive, Hampshire would strike back as Cole Schaefer takes this one to the house on a 42-yard score. After going for 2, Hampshire cuts the deficit to just 6. It's a 14-8 ball game. Late in the second quarter, Boyles can't complete the pitch, and Hampshire recovers after the ball hits the ground. Then just a couple of plays after that, Hampshire would capitalize and take the lead as Schaefer reaches into the end zone for the second time on the night to put the Trojans up 15-14 at the half. But the Knights would storm back in the second half. Preston, with a late comeback, picks up a season-opening victory as they knock off the Trojans, winning this one by the final of 26-21. Coming up after the break, Ben Eschenbaugh steps in with highlights from Morgantown, Fairmont, and Lost Creek. The debut edition of Fifth Quarter, presented by Trinity Homes, continues after this.
For the week, and this report is built by Trinity Homes. We take you out to Clarksburg for this one. Fairmont Senior at RCB. Start of the second half. It is already 35-6 Fairmont Senior in this one. Bryson Gilbert takes the opening kickoff about his own 15-yard line, and he goes all the way. He dives in for the touchdown. Let's take a look at that dive in slow-mo. Nice extension as Senior wins 49-12 in the opener. Welcome back to the fifth quarter, presented by Trinity Homes. Plenty more games to get to in this first week of high school football season. We'll get right to the action with Morgantown hosting out-of-state Anacostia. Matt Lacey making his head coaching debut with the Mohigans tonight at 7 o'clock kickoff. Anacostia going for it on 4th and 17 on their opening drive, but Andrew Keefe puts an end to it. He sacks Marcus Berry on the play. Morgantown starting from the Indians 20 on the second play. Logan Holgerson hooks up with Ben Moiboga. That's on a fade route for the score. It's a 2-point conversion would fail, so it is 6-0 MHS. Another quick short drive for the Mohigans. Next possession, this time Jordan Page gets the call for a 12-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion doubles up Morgantown's lead. It's 14-zip. More stingy D by the Mohigans. It's 4th and 21. Keefe and Scotty Davis bring down Barry for another stop. Morgantown takes over at the Anacostia 39. They drive to the 23, then Page gets the ball again, and he goes untouched to the end zone for his second score of the evening. That makes it 21-0 Morgantown. And then, after recovering a fumble at the Indians 15, it's 2nd and 12 when Joseph Turner takes the handoff to the house to make it 27-zip. First quarter coming to a close now. This time, Shaq Johnson punches it in from 4 yards out. 5 scores in the opening quarter for Morgantown. The Mohigans roll in Lacey's debut, winning in a shutout. The final 59-0. Miles down I-79, Liberty visiting East Fairmont and trailing 17-14 where we pick up in the second quarter. The Mountaineers are driving late in the half. Dalton Westfall picks up 12 yards on the ground here. He gets down to the Bees' 3-yard line. Next play, Broderick Lance takes it the rest of the way. He punches it in for a 3-yard score, and Liberty retakes lead into the half. It's 20-17 after a PAT block. But East answers on the first play of their first drive in the third. Dylan Kinsel takes the handoff to the right edge, and he's got a lot of running room. Kinsel turns on the Jets for an 80-yard touchdown run. He finished well over 100 yards on the ground for the night. East back up 24-20. Same result on their next drive. Jaden Karofsky takes it to the left end. He's got a clear way to the end zone, and his game recognizes our game. Thanks for the shout-out, kid. It's a 17-yard score, and it's 31-20. Next East side possession. Dylan Burks off of play action rolls right, and he's going to hit an extra gear on the keeper. That's a 46-yard TD run. Bees now up 18 after 3 straight scores. It's 38-20. Liberty needing some momentum. It's now in the fourth quarter. Seth McKinney hits Chandler Taylor on the quicksand, and Taylor breaks an arm tackle for a 36-yard strike. Mountaineers down 38-26. Liberty needing more. McKinney airing it out for Taylor again, but Ross Ridgway comes down with it, and that helps ice the game as East Fairmont knocks off Liberty in the opener, the final 38-26. And another game in Harrison County. Coach Bobby Burnside and the Doddridge County Bulldogs at South Harrison this evening. South Harrison strikes first with a pitch here to Freddie Canary, who takes it 10 yards for the score, and the Hawks go up 7-0. The Bulldogs would find it tough sledding here. Curtis James takes the rock up the middle for a very short gain. Same drive, better result here. Quarterback Hunter Riffle keeps the ball. He scrambles to the right. He gets outside. He cuts it back to the middle. He weaves his way through traffic, and the defense picks up the first down. The drive, however, would go on to stall. More South Harrison points in the first quarter coming up. Camden Barnett plowing through the line on 4th and 1 from the 1. That doubles up the Hawks' lead. It is now 14-zip. The Hawks continue to soar in the second quarter here. It's Freddie Canary again picking up 15 yards down the left side and another touchdown. It's now 21-0 South Harrison. The second quarter would be all South as we go back to the ground game. Camden Barnett again. This time a misdirection play for 22 yards out, and it's 28-0 Doddridge trails South Harrison. And here another touchdown to end the second quarter, this time through the air. Nathaniel Wright dumps it off to Jonathan Whitehair, taking it in from 12 yards out as South Harrison goes on to shut out the Bulldogs, the final 42-0. When we return, Shelby Cassesi will take over the mic with stops at 100, Pine Grove, and Parsons. That's next on the fifth quarter, sponsored by Trinity Homes.
This is your Trinity Homes Hit of the Week, opening kickoff in Flatwoods, Lincoln visiting Braxton County. Let's start the season off with a bang. Braxton's Seth Arnold with a nice return, but he is met by the Cougars' Kyle Owens. That's a big hit, and that's why it's the Trinity Homes Hit of the Week. Welcome back to the fifth quarter, built by Trinity Homes. We'll get to matchups in Wetzel County and Tucker County, but first, highlights from the first varsity football game in 100 since 2013. After going without a team in 2014, then playing a junior varsity schedule in 2015, the Hornets returned as a varsity team this season and hosted their first game of 2016 against Cameron. Greg Hostetler and co. With 34 total players on their roster, they've come a very long way since having their season canceled 2 seasons ago. Cameron strikes first, though, on the first play of the game from scrimmage. Michael Starcher breaks free from the pack for a 57-yard score to open his year. A good 2-point conversion gives the Dragons an 8-0 lead. Next, Cameron possession. Colby Brown throws one up for Trey Rout, who comes up with the jump ball, then takes it the rest of the way for a 40-yard strike. Another 2-point conversion puts the Dragons up 18-0. Still in the first quarter, Brown connects with Rout yet again, and he crosses the goal line for his second touchdown of the night. It's 24-0 after another 2-point conversion. On the ensuing kickoff, the ball is touched by a Hornet, and Starcher comes up with it in the pile to recover it for the Dragons, and they regain possession. Then on the very next play, Andrew Sims takes it all the way for a 38-yard touchdown run. They get yet another 2 points after the fact, and the Dragons are cruising. It's 32-0 at the end of the first quarter. And they're not done in the half. Brown hits Starcher with a short pass, and he goes the distance on the catch and run. His second touchdown of the night goes for 47 yards, and Cameron leads 40-0 at halftime. They take this one by the final of 54-0. And we take you out to Wetzel County as the Lumberjacks of Valley Wetzel host the Bulldogs of TYGARTS Valley. On the opening kickoff, Matthew Throckmorton is back deep. He catches the kick and he breaks tackles. He will take it all the way back to the house. The Lumberjacks have the very early lead after a made 2 points. It's 8-0, but the Bulldogs answer right back. Tristan Dumeyer gets the ball off the screen, breaks the tackle, and he is gone. He goes 55 yards for the Bulldogs. Valley Wetzel is still up 8-6 after a missed point after attempt. Bulldogs looking to take the lead as Jack Tackett takes the snap and he drops back, fires deep, and he finds Zach McCauley deep for the touchdown. TYGARTS Valley takes the lead. It's 12-8. Valley Wetzel, however, looking to take the lead back as Tyler Coer gets the snap. He looks deep for Dylan Irvin, and he comes down with it. The Lumberjacks lead 16-12 after they get a good 2-point conversion. Tigardts Valley looking to answer back, though, and they are in Lumberjacks territory as Dumeier takes the handoff. He weaves his way through the defense for the touchdown, and the Bulldogs now lead 20-16. And the Bulldogs again kick it to Throckmorton, and again, he takes it back to the house for his second kickoff return for a touchdown of the night. The Lumberjacks now lead 22-20, and they lead 24-20 at halftime. They hold on to the lead in the second half, winning 44-34. And we now head out to Parsons as the Tucker County Mountain Lions host the Warriors of Pocahontas County. First quarter, it's Wyatt Workman. He fakes the option and takes it to the 12-yard line. First down for the Warriors. Then just 3 plays later in the second quarter, Workman takes it in on the sneak. The Warriors lead 7-0. Following that, Joey Howell intercepts the Warriors' pass off a tip at the 20-yard line. However, the ensuing drive would stall. Still 7-0 Pocahontas. Then the Warriors attempting to punt as Brody Strouderman breaks through, blocks the punt, and Mason Johnson jumps on it as the Mountain Lions get it at the 10. However, that ensuing drive would stall as well, and the Warriors of Pocahontas County take this one by the final of 7-0. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with our Benny's Boot Hill Boot of the Week. Stay tuned.